I'm with Bishop Ric Thorp again in the beautiful Islington in London.
Look at us.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's amazing weather here in England at the moment. Bishop Ric, tell us some stories about what's happening in the Church of England that would encourage us as Kiwis back home.
Yeah, so there are loads of great stories of what God is doing. Let me tell you some. So we're doing this new thing called Myriad. Myriad is the Greek word for 10,000, and it's where we would love to see 10,000 new things that are starting where disciples are gathering together to worship Jesus. So that might be in a parish where you've got an existing parish church, it's got its congregations and things, but the church begins to ask the question, who is not in the room?
Yeah.
Who are we not reaching? Who are around us? And it might be that they don't come to us. There might be people in the congregation who say, I would love to do something with them. And so the church sends them. It might be really close, it might be down the road, it might be next door or in someone's home or something like that. And these are normal, ordinary people leading things that become a little like a micro church, like a home church, like a church in a cafe or something like that.
Yeah.
And so what we're finding is that more and more people are getting really, really excited about this. This is a vision of the whole Church of England. So the archbishops are saying we need to be doing this.
All right.
So this is called the mixed ecology being the norm in the church. So mixed ecology is like, it's not just parish churches and services that happen in parish churches.
Yeah.
It's also things that might happen in a school,
Yeah.
on a housing estate,
Yeah.
or in a home, and where we're saying the expectation might be that could become church. Now, there are all kinds of questions that are raised. What about communion? What about baptism?
Yeah.
What about clergy? The priests? But actually, they're all solvable.
Yeah.
The most important thing is that asking that question, who are we not reaching? And as people begin to ask that question, we're finding it is so fruitful. So all kinds of things are springing up. We had someone very close to here, the parish priest in the next door parish here. In fact, this is probably in his parish. His ordinand, who was training for the ministry, said, I'd love to plant a church in the parish. And so they said, okay, that sounds good. Who are we not reaching? And she found, about a mile down the road, there's a shopping centre where no one went to the local parish church because it's just like different context, different place. And so she found a cafe, a Costa Cafe. It's like a coffee chain.
Yeah.
And she asked the manager, could we meet here on like a Wednesday evening? And the manager said, yes, it's part of our values to be able to enable community things to happen. So she started a church with 6 lay people, and they got about 20 people meeting regularly in that church. I've confirmed and baptized some of those people. And she trained the leaders, and she's now leading a church somewhere else.
Yep.
And they are leading this lay-led community in this cafe. It's fully connected into the parish,
Yes.
but it's in a completely different location to the parish church.
Yeah.
Full of life, fully connected into the sacramental life of the parish. So that's just one example.
Yeah.
Another one is reopening closed churches. How about this? So, we have a story of church decline in the Church of England. It's been going on for about 100 years. But there is a growing part of the church who are asking the question, surely, there's strength in some places. Can we transfer some of that strength to other places? So we're seeing what we call church revitalizations happening, where a church that is stronger doesn't just say we want to keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger. They actually say, how can we give away so that another church can come back to life and grow? And it's usually easiest if those churches are ready for change. If they're not ready for change, it's more difficult for people to transfer because they have a different vision or different values and so on. But if they're ready for change, with a new leader and a team of people, that accelerates. And so we're seeing that more and more in this country. And it works best when a parish church says, we've tried everything and it's not working. And so we need help. And it's great humility to do that. There's a church just north of here that did that. And they said, we have tried everything. We've gone down to very small numbers. We've got about 15 people left. And we feel there's so much potential. We're on like a high street.
Yes.
The vicar was leading this conversation, and he was saying, look, I'm going to retire. Maybe someone new can come in with a team from somewhere else, and they can build a relationship with us, form what one diocese calls an apostolic partnership. And they then sent a team with a new clergy person, and that church is just now, a few years later, teeming with life.
Wow.
It's grown. It almost took another group coming to partner with the old group to
Right.
catalyse something,
Okay.
and like a chain reaction.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's the kind of thing that's beginning to happen more and more.
Yeah, and
Just
maybe
two
they
stories.
themselves can plant.
Well, we are finding that. So I was part of a church that was revitalised Shadwell, St Paul's Shadwell in East London. That was from Holy Trinity Brompton, a large church in the centre of London. We took a team with us. There were 20 people who moved house across London. It's quite a big deal.
It's a big
One
deal.
family, she was pregnant with eight month pregnancy. 8 months into the pregnancy with twins, she moved with her family.
Oh, wow.
And so it's an incredible story of change. But then that catalysed growth in St Paul's. That began to grow. Then we had the same chance to do in Bow and Bethnal Green, which are two places in East London, and then again in Spitalfields and the Isle of Dogs. And so we had the chance to revitalise 4 times. Now each of those churches, in fact 3 out of the 4, have gone on to send another team to another place.
Wow.
And so that's then 4 generations of churches,
Yes.
because they were all intentional about saying, we don't want to just grow something in this new place, we want to give away and help another church to come back to life. And so it was became part of the strategy of the diocese to say, are there churches that would love to see this kind of regeneration, this revitalisation, and let's work out a plan of how that might happen in practice.
That is so encouraging for us to hear, because I'm sure that some Kiwi churches, would really benefit from that kind of revitalisation and that kind of approach. So thank you.
Well, I think it's hard work, but it is so exciting. I mean, when you see churches coming back to life, or new churches starting to reach new groups of people, it is energising, not just for that church in particular, but it's energising for the whole body of Christ.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments, Bishop Rick.